Hey guys, man, we're excited today. We got somebody big, special, somebody that's been around a little while, longer than me, probably. Is that correct? What's your how many years, how many trips around the sun you got?
Oh, I am 50. I just turned
Oh, you're
50.
50. Okay, all
Yeah.
right, good. Yeah, I'm only 38, so you are older than me. That's what I thought.
Yeah,
Um,
okay.
yeah. I'm 60. You know what's amazing, Billy? I hear people like I'll watch the news or something, and I hear somebody say, there was a older man, older gentleman, 60 years old, and at first my head's like, yeah, he's an older gentleman. Then I'm like, wait a minute, I'm 60. Then I'm not an older gentleman.
I know the older I get, the younger that is.
Yeah, exactly. I know it's crazy, absolutely crazy. So we're excited to have you on here. I titled it Billy the marketing guru. So
Yeah. Well,
you've
I
got a great
appreciate it.
story, and you've got an energy and an expertise that you bring to the profession, obviously, to share what we do to more people. And you're on a purpose, mission driven life as I am. But I wanted to first ask you a couple of questions. We're going to be in Fort Lauderdale, October 24th, 25th for the event. We're honored to have you there
That's
and
right. Yep. Looking forward to it.
spend some time. Yeah, and then you could share a little bit more about what you do with the docs in our group to help obviously promote their practices and what they do. But I guess my first question is, what is it? If you're gonna explain to me what is it you do, because I know you do quite a bit, and you've got different platforms that you teach and elevate us and educate us on and expose us on. So what is it that you do exactly?
Yeah. So our goal is to make the local chiropractor famous in their market. And historically, we've like our bread and butter has been Facebook ads, Facebook and Instagram. Then we added Google Ads, got really good at that. We did TikTok. TikTok is odd because some places it works phenomenally well. As a matter of fact, our guys in the UK right now with TikTok are crushing it. And some
Mm,
here in the States are doing really well too. Others, not so much.
mm,
It's kind of hit or miss. But to be
yeah.
frank, Facebook's kind of the same way, kind of hit or miss. We have some strategies that are pretty consistent that we know we've got a 95% success rate if you follow this formula. And we also do websites, we do SEO. We think, okay, how can we get each office the most exposure? And and I understand some people are like, well, why do you even market? You should be able to just get referrals. Great, but if you've got a message that's as important as chiropractic, why would you not want to tell
Yes.
more people? Like
Yeah.
I kind of don't understand that. I used to joke that the only people more passionate about their message, more passionate than chiropractic would maybe be preachers and network marketers,
Yeah.
right? They want to tell everybody.
Yeah.
But there's
Exactly.
people right now driving past your office that want what it is you do. They don't want to be
Yes.
taking medication. They want that wellness lifestyle. A lot of them don't know that that's chiropractic. So
Yes.
how can we package that? But I got to tell you, Joe, one of the strongest things we do right now is we have this new software we developed called Invisible Intent. It's very affordable to do, but what's so cool is right now, think about all the people that go to your website. You're only capturing maybe 5 to 7%. So of the people that go to your website, roughly that's about how many people will call and schedule an appointment. Well, the other 95% we just lose.
Right.
Maybe if you have a Facebook tracking pixel, that allows you to put them in an audience and now you can start showing them Facebook ads, but you don't have their information. Our software gives you all their information, even if
Mm.
they don't opt in. You get their name, their email, their phone number, any emails associated with their IP address, and it
Mm.
builds a spreadsheet of all these people. Now, they really didn't give us permission to call, but we can drop a postcard in the mail. Think about that. I go to a website and then, the next day I get a postcard from that company and
Yeah.
I'm seeing their ads on social media now. And I get an email. You can email them. And we actually do have some people that call that'll just, as long as their number is not on the do not call list, it's not illegal for you to call them. Uh,
Sure.
but think about that. All the people that go to your website, you get to see who it is. Well, what if it's an old patient? So
Right.
we live on the Gulf Coast and we've done, I think, 17 or 18 cruises over the years, most of them Carnival, not all, but I went to Carnival's website. This has been a couple of years ago. I'm just looking to see, next year or any specials. Uh, the next day, I get a call from my lady at Carnival. I thought it was just a coincidence. It's the
Yeah.
same lady we've dealt with for almost 20 years now. Uh, and then a few months later, I go on their site again. The next day, I get a call from her. And I'm like, hang on a second. Called me once. I said, wait a second. Did you know that I was on the website yesterday? And she's kind of hesitant. She's like, yeah. She goes, we have this technology, and our marketing department gives us a list of all of the people who went. I said, hey, man, I'm in marketing. I think this is fantastic. Obviously, I'm
Right.
interested. I went to your site. So, but historically, this technology has only been available for companies with really, really large budgets. But now we can do that with you. That's only part of what this software does. So those are people that go to your website. The second half is search ID. So the clients can give us a list, the doctors' offices can give us a list of zip codes where their ideal patients are at. And then they give us a list of keywords. Chiropractor near me, back pain, headaches, whatever these keywords are. Anybody that searches those keywords, they don't even have to go to your website. They
Wow.
search those keywords. If they're in those zip codes, we capture their name, email, phone number. You can put them in an email autoresponder, send a postcard out to them, and it connects automatically with Facebook ads or with the audience. And so
Yes.
now people just search your topic, then they start seeing your ads a couple of hours later,
Yes.
and they
Yes.
get a postcard in the mail. And we don't have this yet. We're working on rolling out what's called CTV and OTT ads. These are video ads over streaming platforms. So the
Hmm.
people that are watching Hulu, Paramount, like
Yes. Yes.
Peacock,
Yes.
all these different things,
Yes.
um, we'll be able to retarget people from these lists with your ads on that too. So not only do we do the social media, the website, SEO, our team's really good at the AEO also. So
Yeah.
knowing because people are now using Perplexity and ChatGPT to search for, they're not just going to Google anymore. So we do all kinds of stuff. But if what I think's the most powerful thing we do right now is that invisible intent. It's pretty cool. I can
Wow.
talk about it for hours.
Yeah. Yeah. That is great. That's powerful. And like you said, those people that so-called drive-bys, right? If you think of it that way, they're right on the edge, and they just need a little nudge. I remember way back when, again, I'm dating myself because I came from the days of yellow page ads where, whoever
Same.
had the biggest yellow page ad,
Yeah.
that's where I started and I didn't have any money. So I had to highlight my listing in the yellow page. I didn't have enough money to put the big ad in, but I remember them, meeting and talking to people and doing marketing. You needed like that 12, maybe that 14 exposure impression in order for them to maybe take action on an ad. But now, my God, with so much, people are getting bombarded with so much that you know to
It's
be able to
everywhere. Yeah.
target them specifically is just absolutely fantastic. So much more
Yeah, well,
money.
if you think about marketing in general,
Yeah.
your goal is to get your message in front of the
Yes.
people that
Yes.
are most likely to
Yes.
buy. Which
Yes.
who's most likely to buy is people already looking for you. So
Right.
that's why it's called invisible intent. Like we know these are the highest intent people in your community, and now we can show them your office.
Yeah.
It's very strong. But I'm like you. I don't know if you remember. I mean, heck, it's been several years ago. Whenever we first connected, and I had you on the Chiro Candy podcast.
Yeah.
But back in 2007, 2008, I worked in office for a chiropractor. We had multiple locations. I was the marketer. I was doing all the events out in the community. I would do our in-office workshops. I started doing our day ones and day twos. I would close the patients on care plans. The only thing I didn't do was adjust. And we, in both offices, we used the Pro Adjuster. I probably could have, but
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I fell in love with the profession. I just
Yeah.
loved like the miracles I would see in office. And I was like, oh my goodness, I thought it
Yeah.
was neck pain and back pain. It's so much
Yes.
more.
Yes.
How do we help spread this message? So I
Yeah.
really drank the Kool-Aid, if you will, and
Yes.
we love what we do.
Yeah.
What's great is our team is the same way. Like they love chiropractic um, but yeah, we had yellow pages. And back then, like you kind of had to be in the yellow pages.
You had to
And
be in the yellow pages.
we even had a
Absolutely.
couple. There
Yeah.
was where we lived, it was the Golden Triangle yellow pages, and then you had the actual yellow pages, and I used to get onto our front desk, our CAs, because they would just say yellow pages. I was like, no, there's like three different ones we're paying for.
Yeah,
I need to know
exactly.
exactly. I need to know exactly which one if we're
From the
spending.
little book to medium sized book to big book.
Yeah, we
Exactly.
got to be able to track exactly what's bringing in,
Yeah.
these calls.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I definitely remember that.
That's the great part of the technology now is it allows you to be more efficient with the dollar, right?
Yes.
Because I'm not just throwing, like you're saying, get your message in front of the people that are interested before you're just throwing a net out. Where now I can say, okay, here's the zip code, here's the people that did a search, here's a certain age group, here's a certain demographic, so now I can kind of cherry pick, which makes your dollar obviously a lot more valuable when
Oh
you,
yeah, I love what you said, just being more efficient.
yeah.
So that's definitely the case.
No doubt. So you've got a story. So you inched into it a little bit, but tell me a little bit about your story. Like, how did you get to do what you're doing, and a little bit where you came from, and where you are
Sure.
now, and maybe where you're headed.
Yeah. So um, we've been, gosh, when I was growing up, one of my dad's close friends. So my dad used to be chief of police in our town, and one of the city judges, a chiropractor, and a couple other business leaders would have coffee at a Dairy Queen every morning.
Yeah.
And one of those guys was a chiropractor. He was actually the president of the TCA several years. Um, and so he was one of my dad's closest friends. And growing up, I had to go see him twice. Both times, same thing, doing military dumbbell presses. And I was wanted to get 10 reps and I was on seven. And I thought if I turned my head, you know,
Oh yeah, bad.
yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway, uh, I go see him, and it was definitely just kind of pain based.
yeah,
Handful of adjustments, slap me on the butt. Hey, if you need anything else, let me know. Like that was it. And so I thought that was chiropractic, which that's what a lot of people think. That's all it
sure,
is. And then I go to work for this chiropractor, and I see these life changing. And then he starts kind of telling me, he had gone to some DE. He was actually the chiropractor I worked for, the main doctor, uh, went to Texas Chiropractic College. So, which isn't, you know, definitely wouldn't be your top pick if you were going to know somebody that's going to be going to school. Uh,
sure.
but he was able to get the philosophy outside of there.
Yes.
And he would have me just listen to all kinds of anything to do with chiropractic. He's like, just listen to this. It's like, what am I trying to learn? He said, all of it. Just listen.
All of it.
And
Love it.
just
Yeah,
all of it. Just listen. Anything you pick up. So I really fell in love with the profession. But I used to sell rare coins, gold, silver, platinum, antique coins. I did that for about 8 years before I went to work for the chiropractor. I just needed a change, wanted something different. And so I loved what we were doing, loved it. I wasn't making as much money as I was doing the coin stuff. And then I ended up leaving the chiropractor to go to work at another coin company that was a startup and worked there for a while. But I missed the
mm,
chiropractic stuff. And we started in 2015. I launched Chiro Candy as a podcast. It wasn't a marketing company. My idea was I know marketing. I A lot of people need to know how to get their message out. I'm just going to start a podcast and we'll interview different people. How are you growing your practice? What are you doing? And just started reaching out to people. And I built this brand. And then people started asking me, hey, can you help with marketing? And so I had some project deals. And then one day somebody's like, hey, can you help with Facebook ads? I was like, of course. And I'm a new tab, how to do Facebook ads,
exactly.
Uh,
Before Chat GPT, right? Before
right. But it worked. It started
yeah,
working. And this
exactly.
was, heck, almost 10 years ago now.
Yes.
And we've worked with around 2,000 offices all over the world. We got clients in Australia, the UK, Canada.
Yes. All over the
Um,
globe.
Latin America, yeah, and we love it. I really, really love what we do. I'm in the process right now. I'm going through contacting all of our clients. Just as we've grown, I don't know who all our clients are anymore. You know, we have a bunch, but it's been neat. Like even this week, talking to a couple of people, didn't recognize their name, and please understand my heart. I want to be careful saying that because I want to know. That's why
Sure,
I'm calling them
sure,
all. You know,
sure,
uh,
sure.
and like those two guys this week, they've been with us for like 4 and 5 years, and you know, I love that. I love that. You know, one of them was like, "Man, you guys took my practice to another level." I love hearing stuff like that.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, it doesn't always work that way. Like
yeah,
some offices, some demographics, some areas, it's just harder, you know? And
yeah,
that's why we're always trying to stay cutting edge. Like, what are other tools we can do? Because you can't tell me in a population of 50,000 people, there's not more patients. Like,
yes,
there's got to be another way to get these people. So,
yes.
we actually even started an AI company. So, I'm partners in another company, and we do AI development. Like we have a team of full stack AI developers because I was wanting some tools in Cairo Candy and was trying to find people. I mean, that's another story. I'm going to take way too long telling that story.
Sure.
But one of the reasons I did that is because we're trying to stay
Right.
cutting edge. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think one thing to add, and then we teach that in ChiroPassion is, my dad always used to say, if you want to have a stable business, think of it as a table, and every leg he ran a restaurant. Him and my mom, they ran a large Italian restaurant, but they had a bar, and then they had weddings and banquets, and they had a dining room, and they had different events and different seasons, and they did boats and things out in front and clam bakes and all kinds of stuff. And his attitude was like, your table representing the stability of your business, the more legs you have under the table, the more stable the table is, right? so
Sure.
so his attitude is like, don't rely on one thing, and everything adds to the other. So I love, if you're, hey, I call Billy up and I say, hey, Cairo Candy, get me out there. But I think, the doc is missing something if they're only relying on that. You want to parlay off of that, get out and talk to people. You said, make me the most celebrated, make me a household name in my town, make me
Community.
a rock star,
Absolutely. Yeah.
celebrity, right? So now, now you're using that, but now I can go out and meet people and have a conversation with them. Hey, I saw you, hey, you're Dr. Joe, or you did this or you did that. And, that is so much of it. I find that, especially after COVID, and especially the younger docs, I find that they get so hung up on the technology, which is phenomenal. But, there it is called chiropractic. We do things with our hands. So to meet people, to touch them, to shake their hand, I meet you out at the store, put my hand on your shoulder. Hey, Bill, hey, check us out on YouTube, or check out our Google, or check out our Facebook, and now being able to put something out there beautiful that you put out there for us that makes me look professional. They both play off each other. We teach a lot of that in ChiroPassion, but I think everyone really needs to take advantage of all that. And I think they don't know how to do that. That's one of the things I know we bring to the table as a consulting or mentoring company is, how do you synergize all that? How do you make all of
Right.
that work? Because everybody wants new ones. I would say be good at getting them, but be great at keeping them. So you gotta be good at getting them through the door. But if you're not able to close or lead them to some kind of care, you're just revolving door practice. Or you're spinning your
Uh,
wheels.
100%. I even do some business coaching
Yeah.
with other marketing agencies. And that's one of the things all businesses have the same four buckets. Um, we have lead generation, which is marketing,
Yes.
right? We got to generate leads. And then we have our sales. We got to convert those leads. So this
Yes.
is our day one and day two. And then we
Yes.
have fulfillment. This is providing whatever it is they're paying you for, right? This is
Yes.
the adjustment. And then we have retention. How do we keep these people coming back? But it's the
Yes.
same thing if you're on a restaurant
Yes.
or if you're doing landscaping.
Yes.
How do I generate leads? How do I get them as clients? How do I deliver for them? And how do I keep them coming back? Like that's business. It's very simple.
No
But you
one
have to
thing.
look to see, okay, where in my business are there holes?
Yes.
Where can I get the biggest bang from my buck right now? Well, right
Yeah.
now, like I remember at a referral, this guy's like, look, I got a buddy of mine. He's in bad shape. I told him he needs your help. I get this guy on the phone, and I typically don't even do a lot of sales calls anymore. And this has been several years ago. He's been in practice 25 years. He's seeing 50 a week. I'm like, okay. Like there's a couple of red flags there. Like,
Yes.
what are you doing stem cell? Like, how are you paying the bill? It
Right.
seems like, no, we're
Right.
straight,
Right.
straight chiropractic.
Right.
Uh, and he's doing 50 a week between two locations.
Oh my God.
So what I said, look, I thank you so much, like for reaching out.
Yeah.
New patients is not your problem.
Right.
Like there's something going on other than this. Like, because I'm gonna
Yes.
tell you right now, you're not gonna close the people we're gonna send to you.
Right.
I can just tell, like there's other things going on. So it's like, where in my business are there holes? What I need SOPs for each one of these that are going to,
Correct.
stop the holes. Because yeah, you're right. It's we got to be able to retain people. We also need them to give us referrals, right?
Yes.
So we need SOPs for that. Because one new patient, if you lose that patient and they go somewhere else, it's not that life that you lost, right? It's not that opportunity, that relationship. It's the income from that you could have used to grow the business. Any referrals that could have came from that, you lost because now that went to somebody else.
Right.
And it's not just that case fee; it's any future business. And now that person has this extra income to go out and do more. So like
Exactly.
you've got to be investing back into marketing, whatever it is, to get to get you out there. So we've actually we now do websites, we do SEO, we do AEO, which is like, the for people searching on Perplexity and ChatGPT and all these
Right.
things. Uh, we do all these things now. Some people still a la carte it, and that's fine. But we wanted to be able to provide, hey, I need somebody to handle all this. I don't want to go to four different companies. I want
Right.
one,
Exactly.
and let's just get this figured out.
Yeah.
Um,
That's. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you.
no, that's really it.
That's great because I think years ago, because there were different technologies and different platforms and everyone kind of had their home base, but now, like you're saying, you're synergizing it, because that's frustrating too, and everything overlaps anyway. So the fact that, hey, if somebody's handling my so-called, it's such a buzzword, but SEO, what does that mean exactly, right? But my SEO on top of my Google, which is going to overlap with my Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, and then how's that going to handle them finding me on AI now, and maps and everything, right? Some docs, and again, I said it's out of love, why would you? But they don't know any of that. You think you're going to go out there, hang a shingle, and sit in your office, and everybody's going to come, and you learn quickly that's not the case, and the bills start piling up. So you got to be able to lead generate, but you have to be able to lead people into care, and you got to be able to keep them, or unfortunately you're not going to be there. And that's too, it's such a sad story, but it's so prevalent, as a coach, as a mentor. A lot of times I get somebody who's really successful, and they call us and they're like, man, you know what, Joe, I love your passion. I want that. I need that spiz. I need to be around that energy that you generate along with other docs. But a lot of times you get somebody who's like, look, I mean, I'm in a bad way. I'm not doing well, and I need somebody to show me how, which was my story. That's why I hired Reggie. And I need somebody to show me how to do it. And boy, it's tough. They don't, and then you start talking to them, and they might be the greatest adjuster, might have the greatest command over the science and the art and the philosophy of chiropractic, but when it comes to running and operating a business, or how to lead generate, or how to have protocols and procedures, what is a day one or day two or day three? Like, what is that? But a lot of
Yeah.
these people don't even know what that is. So it's sad.
Yeah, so true. But when it comes down to it, I think we were put here on this earth for two things: to love God and love people.
Yeah.
And I think whatever it is you're doing in life, as a chiropractor, you get to love people.
Yeah.
Like you get to put your hands on them and actually love on people who may never get that
Yes.
anywhere else
Anywhere,
outside of your
anywhere,
office.
anywhere.
And you get to do that,
Yeah.
along with the adjustment and everything else. But the
Yes.
fact,
Yeah.
and I think whenever you realize what you do makes such a big impact, like this is a very special
Yes.
profession.
Yeah.
And so we love to be able to serve it. That's why we've been doing it for over 10 years now. And so anything I can do that we can do to help offices, like that's really our heart.
Yeah, that's why we're excited to have you. Obviously, you got a great lineage, but and a great story and a great reputation, and your head and heart are in the right place, certainly to
Yeah.
serve
Thank you.
in the profession. Um, so we're excited to have you in Fort Lauderdale. We're going to be there October 24, 25. So listen, I'm listening to this, and I'm a doc out there, and I'm like, all right, how do I want to get hold of Billy. I want to get hold of Kyra Candy. What do I do? What's my step? And maybe in a moment or two, like how does that look? What's the kind of forensics if there is, and how do I get started?
Yeah, no, great question. The first thing we would do is have you schedule a call with me or somebody on our team. You can find me. I'm probably most active on Facebook,
Yeah.
some on Instagram too, but I'm probably more so on Facebook. But we'd have a call with somebody on our team, and they're gonna look to see really where are you, like what's going on, uh, and how can we get you the quickest win, like first right out of the bat,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it may not be SEO like that. That's kind of a long-term play. But you know what? What does your database look like? Let's do a reactivation campaign. When's the last time you've done that? Let's do that to get some people in the door right now. And then let's work on some Instagram and Facebook. And we just, it depends on where everybody's at. We really do try to customize what we're doing. We're not going to give you we want to give you what you want and what you need, you know.
Yes,
And so
exactly.
we'll kind of, but we're not high pressure. Like, there's an old saying, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Like, we're
Yes,
not going to try to sell you. I
exactly.
mean, we want you to want to do business with us.
Right.
And we've got an awful lot of tools at our disposal to make things work. And our heart is is for this to be just as successful as you want it to be. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so that would really be the next steps. And they
And
can
then
just go to
you're gonna do an
chirocandy.com.
eval. Go ahead, Billy. Sorry.
They can go to chirocandy.com or
Okay.
just, find me on Facebook.
Yeah, that's great. And then all that initial portion that's complimentary, if you will. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's the right
Yeah, of
word, but
course.
and
Yeah.
then I'm going to look at that kind of forensically, and then like you said, what do I want? I want to grow, but you may not need what you think you need, right? Because sometimes you don't know enough. I don't know enough to know what I really need. I think I know what I need, but Joe, you want to get new people, but like you're saying, hey, let's look at this. Let's look at this first, and then budget wise, I mean, let's say I'm out there and. I'm sure you work with a lot of people who are doing really well,
Mhm.
and maybe you got them there. But let's say somebody's out there and they're kind of struggling a little bit, or kind of just getting started. You've got some programs to kind of work with them or help them to kind of get them
Yeah,
on.
absolutely. I mean, everything from our invisible intent program, I mean, that starts at 199 a month.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then we have some packages that are as much as, $2,500 a month that are really more all encompassing that do just about everything that we offer.
yeah,
And then just Facebook ads, if you prepay it 4 months at a time, it's only 5.95 a month. That's how we do that. Or it's regularly 7.95. And there's a lot of different options.
yes,
But it just depends on on what you need. We want to look to see what success you've had in the past, what's worked, what hasn't worked, why do we think it hasn't worked? Because if you come in, you're like, look, I've worked with four other Facebook ads companies and it's never worked. Well, then Facebook may not be the right thing.
right,
What
right,
else could we do, or what strategies were they doing? Because if we budget things right, and we're using like invisible intent, for example, which we include that with anybody doing Facebook, they don't have to pay separate. Like that's included in our stuff. But uh, if we can build an audience of people looking for you, well, that changes the game with Facebook.
sure it does.
You're not just casting that net, like it's targeted to people specifically looking for you. Now that's who's seeing your ads. So that's why
Yeah,
we're seeing a much better result whenever we implement that strategy. But it really just depends. I used to say the reason we have, because so for years, Facebook through us was 5.95 a month. That was it. Probably 3 years ago, we raised it to 795, but kept it at 595 if you want to prepay for 4 months. So still give you that option.
Sure.
But some companies were doing the same things that we do and charging 1,500 to 2 grand a month
Yes.
for
Yes.
just Facebook ads. And I like to tell people, look, we want to get as much money from you as we can, but I'm totally okay if we spread that over 4 or 5 years. And that's why a
Yes.
lot of our clients have been with us 4, 5, 8, 9 years. I don't think anybody's been with us. I think nine's the longest, but we have a
Oh,
few of those. Like that's the goal. We want this to be a long-term relationship. Uh,
absolutely.
and so we want it to work. And if it's not working, we're going to tell you. Like we're
Yeah.
not going to keep taking your money. Like we're like, hey, we've used all the tools we know, and
Yes.
so
That's what's great about you, Billy. And like I said, I've known you for a long time, and I know we've spoken on different platforms. We've been to a lot of different events together, but there's a level of integrity and class and servitude and honesty, integrity, all those great words that describe not only who you are, but you know, correlate great with the profession because we're here to serve more people, like you said, and love on people, and it is a special profession, as you say, and it drives best with special people like yourself. So
yeah. Well,
certainly an
thank you.
honor to have known you all these years. We're real excited to have you and introduce you to the group. We've got quite a few people in ChiroPassion that use you, obviously, and so we're excited for you to be able to connect with them, and then you can share more with a lot of the docs that are going to be there that don't really know you. And like I said, I love having somebody like you there because you're certainly in tune and in line with what we do. And like you said, you're going to be at another event in Miami, so it works out great. So
Yeah, perfect. Yep.
yep, so
Thank
we'll
you so
be
much for
there.
having me.
Absolutely honored. So we're going to be in Fort Lauderdale, October 24th, 25th, 4 o'clock. We start on Friday. We've got a lineup of some unbelievable speakers. Then 9 o'clock, we announce our doc of the year and CA of the year. And then we have a after hours party Friday night, which is really a lot of fun. And you get to mingle and create some camaraderie and some good memories with people that are there. And then we go all day Saturday, and Billy's going to be there along with some other people on software and some other ideas on growing your practice. We're going to have some adjusting uh, teaching. We're going to have pediatric teaching as far as adjusting goes, and pediatric expertise by Dr. Mary Phipps. So Dr. Norm Colby is going to be talking about adjusting, and then we've got a couple of docs that are going to do a panel discussion. So they're docs that are just killing it right now. So they're going to be up there. You get to ask them any questions you want. So we're really looking forward to it, and it's truly an honor to have Billy there and to be part of it and help teach us and lead us a little bit more and how we can get more people through the door. No doubt about it. Billy, thanks so much for your time today. I appreciate it. I look forward to connecting with you in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.